it's Rachel from All About Planners. In this video I'm doing a review of the Christian Daily Planner. So I did receive a copy of this planner for free in exchange for this review, but as always I'm going to say what I really think regardless of whether I paid for the planner or not. So another thing I should probably mention, I'm not really religious, I don't go to church, and I don't read the Bible. However, this planner is still really functional, has a very good layout, so you don't have to be Christian to use this planner, you can just be anyone. So it is 7 by 10 inches, so I would say it is medium page size. It is quite thick, there's quite a lot in the planner. It's around about 1 inch thick, which does mean that it's kind of heavy. It comes with a pen, and I have tested it. It looks really nice pen, but it is a little scratchy, and the ink is prone to feathering when I write with it, but does look really classy. You could always just take that out and put your own pen in there. I really do like this pen loop that comes with it, very functional. And yeah, the cover's kind of plain with just the black, so non-gender specific. You can customize however you like with lots of color because the inside pages are also black and white printing as well. And as you probably already noticed, the pages are really nice, bright white. So love that. Most sewn bound planners have that really yucky yellow paper, which I'm just not a fan of, but this is super bright white, as you can probably see. So inside the planner, we have a whole lot of stuff. As you can see, they even list it out for you. So to show you quickly, there is monthly and weekly pages, as well as a whole bunch of extra stuff at the back. Very functional layout. The pages, there's a lot of like grocery lists and password organizers and like holiday menu planning. So I kind of feel like this would be a really good planner for a mum to use. But you can as well obviously repurpose the extra pages, like I normally switch out contacts pages for password logs, that kind of thing. So anyone can pretty much use this planner. Okay, so it's dated for 2019, and the whole purpose of them sending me this planner for free is because they are doing their 2020 planner at the moment, and they're wanting feedback before they launch their Kickstarter. So if you have any suggestions after you have watched this video, please comment below, because the company is interested to know to make some improvements for next year's planner. So you've got your dates at a glance, dates to remember. I do really like these sort of pages, however I do think this should be wider. There's not much room to write in there. So it'd be okay for people's names for birthdays, but if you've got any other like special events, or I tend to use these pages as like mapping out my product like releases for each year, and there's not a hell of a lot of room to write in those. But that would be on my only con. I do really like the whole black and white theme. It's really nice, simple font to read, looks classy. You could use heaps of colored pens and highlighters, and it's not going to clash with the colors of the planner. Now, as you probably picked up on it, it is a US planner. It's got the US holidays, but again, you can live anywhere in the world and use the planner. I'm in Australia, if you haven't already picked up on my accent, and I always use US planners, so it doesn't really make a difference to me. So, then we have the goal map. So they've got a review of last year and then your goals for the current year, and they have a page similar to this on each of the monthly sections as well, which you can find here. So you've got the review for the last month and then your goals for the current month. It would be really good if that was lined writing space, because I'm pretty crooked if I don't have lines. You could do a bit of mind mapping though if you wanted to, open-ended, however you like. Then you have a monthly budget. Really like the budget versus spent and then a difference column. It is pre-filled with a whole bunch of stuff. If some of those are not relevant to you, like I don't have any kids so I wouldn't need childcare, you can just get some white out and put whatever categories you want in there. And there's also other sections for each of them as well, and a bit of church charity down the bottom. The monthly spread, again, super functional and well thought out. The planner is a little bit bigger than most medium-sized planners. They're usually about 7 by 9. This one is 7 by 10, so the boxes are a little bit bigger to write in, and they also have the holidays pre-printed, as well as the US ones too. You've got a goals box, then a quote from the Bible, prayer reminders, habit reminders, notes. So, like I said before, I'm not really religious. The only thing that's like religious about this monthly spread is just this here. I can always just change that quite easily anyway. Now, I did want to point out, you probably already know what I want to say, the split boxes. So I did already do a check and marked the page. So they do not split the boxes, they just restart the numbering up on the top row. Next we go to the, where'd I go? I lost my place. We've got the month, yeah, and then we go into the weekly pages. So again, functional layout, lots of structured planning space. Up the top, you've got weekly personal goals, another excerpt from the Bible, spiritual goals, weekly tasks, thankful for, goal reflection, and then on each day, you get a full length for Saturday and Sunday as well, with some open-ended space, and then a schedule from 6 a.m. by the hour to 12 o'clock. Not really sure about those start and end time. Seems a little odd to me that you would go for like an 18-hour day. It's a bit long. I'd probably split that into half-hourly sections maybe, would be my feedback. The other thing, if you did want to change these categories, header stickers would work really well. Just looking at it, the size I think would be very comparable to the Erin Condren header size stickers, which is what I tend to use, and just stick it over the top. Or if you wanted to, just get a black marker pen and then white that out, well, I guess black it out, and then use a white pen. My preferred one is the Sakura in white, and then you can just put whatever heading you want there instead. So, I should mention, the week numbers are printed up the top, and at the end of each week you get a service notes and a prayer journal. Again, I probably wouldn't really use them because I'm not really religious, so you could always just repurpose that with like a weekly overview, so maybe your goals for the week or a weekly reflection section, something like that, because there's nice big lined writing space to work with. And then you've got this giant sketch pad section, which not really sure what I would use that section for, maybe just some notes or reminders or errands, things like that that pop up throughout the week. So you get a 2-page weekly spread, and then you get all of these 2 pages as well. So you've got quite a lot of room to write, which is probably why the planner ends up being quite chunky. So there is no tabs because it is a stone-bound planner. It's a pretty standard. There is no obvious monthly divider pages, so you do have to flick for a bit. See how it's just white with the font there? Maybe it would be better if it said like May 2019 on the side, or if it was a black divider with white font, then it would be easier to locate when you're looking at the side here of all of the weeks. So I won't show you every single month because obviously it just repeats quite frequently. At the back of the planner is a whole bunch of extra pages. Let me just get to those. So you've got a 2019 review. Again, lots of open-ended space, maybe some structured space like some questions or some line writing space could be beneficial there. You've got a 2020 dates at a glance calendar. The other thing that I should point out, the start dates. So the dates at a glance calendars have Sunday. The monthly calendar starts on a Sunday. However, the weekly spread starts on a Monday, so just keep that in mind. It's not consistent throughout, if that's like a pet hate of yours, because I know it's one of mine. The Bible reading log, again, I'm not religious, but I'm assuming that you would just like color in the little boxes as you read that section. And then more New Testament, and then they had Old Testament, and then some blank space, I guess maybe jot some notes. Then we go into the extra pages. So like I mentioned earlier, if you didn't need a contacts page, this is an ideal page, in my opinion, to convert to a password log. Up to you. And then we've got some books to read, movies to watch. And then they do already have a password organizer if you want one, double-sided. Now, lots of grocery shopping lists, categorized by store section. Really like how well thought out these pages are. Quite a few shopping lists, and they're perforated, so you can always tear it out. I think it would work well if you had like a rotating meal plan, so they don't again have 52 of these obviously, so maybe if you had a rotation of 4, so like 4 weeks of the month, and then you had the grocery list associated with that, you tear them out and then you just keep changing that, like maybe week 1 becomes week 3 meal plan and grocery list of the following month. You get the idea. Those start on a Monday, which is consistent with the 2-page weekly spread. The only thing that I think could be a bit of a problem is that this perforated page, it's printed back to back on the weekly meal planner, both sides. So it'd probably be more functional if it went weekly meal planner on one side and then that categorized grocery list, which is earlier on the back side, and then you could just pull it out and then like stick it on your fridge or wherever you want to put it, and it has it all right there together. There is also a food and exercise tracker too, and it even has little check boxes for you to mark off when you've had your water. Love that. And that also starts on a Monday to keep that consistent. Then you have a holiday meal planner as well, including a prep and buy list. I really like that if you're prepping a few days before Christmas or whatever, Easter, whatever holiday you're planning. And there is also a travel checklist. There's heaps of extra pages in the back of this one, already filled out with very functional things as well, like obviously emergency docs, a whole lot of little things like Q-tips. No one on pre-filled checklists, for whatever weird reason, on travel checklists includes things like Q-tips, you know, adapters. Very functional. Love this travel checklist, and really do like the little notes thing as well. And the before you go, I just love this travel checklist. Very functional. I would definitely use that. Heaps of them. Then you got a gardening planner. I probably wouldn't use that because I don't have a garden, but it's there if you want it. There is one thing that I think is lacking. It just ends. There's no lined notes pages or anything like that. It's all these pre-filled pages. So great if you're going to use all of them, but maybe some notes pages would be beneficial too. At the back of the planner is a very, very roomy notes pocket folder. Look at that. You could fit a ton of stickers in there if you wanted to. So, an elastic band to keep it all closed. So that is it for this review. I do think it is a very functional planner, and I hope you saw as well that it's not like you don't have to be Christian to use the planner. Anyone can use this planner. It is very functional. I like how well thought out the pages are. There's a few little tweaks that I would suggest, which I kind of mentioned throughout this video. The bright white paper is really nice. Feels really smooth. Going to be really good to write on, I can already tell. The schedule could probably be tweaked. 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. is a bit odd timings. Lots of extra pages. You get 4 pages per week. You've got the 2-page vertical and then these 2 extra pages as well. So if you do like this planner, it's currently on sale for $20 US. I'll include the link below. And then if you wanted to put any feedback so they can update it for 2020's planner, please also comment below with your feedback so I can pass that on, or they can have a look at your comments. So those links will be below. Hope you found this review helpful. See you in the next one.